Hi friends, my name is Miss Jessica and today I'm going to be guiding you in an art making activity called a carved potato block print. This art making activity is inspired by an artwork by a woman named Elizabeth Catlett that's called Sharecropper. We're going to put it on the screen right here for you. This artwork is called a linocut print, which means that the artist took a piece of linoleum, which is a sort of rubbery material, and carved out a shape into it that she then used ink to cover and then paste onto a piece of paper. Today, with our art making activity, we're going to be mimicking this process with our potatoes. So, what you'll need for this art making activity is one potato cut in half by your grown-up. You'll need a butter knife and a spoon for carving. You'll need paint of any color and a paintbrush. You'll need a few pieces of paper. You'll need a paper towel, and you'll need a marker. Once you have all of these materials, you can have your adult cut your potato in half for you and set everything else aside, along with one of the halves because you'll only need one. So, the first step I think is useful is to kind of dab the potato with your paper towel so that it's dry on the surface. And then if you have a marker, you can draw a little outline of what you want to carve on your potato, just so you have a guide for when you're carving. I'm gonna draw a heart, because that's what I'll be carving. Feel free to pause the video at any point if you need extra time to complete one of the steps, and then resume it when you're ready to proceed. So the next step in this is going to be to take your butter knife and making sure to always point it away from you so you don't get hurt. You'll carve a little line around the outline that you drew of the shape you want to create into a stamp. And you should take your time with this to make sure you're being very careful because you don't want to cut yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a helpful guide for when you're carving. Again, if you need more time, you can go ahead and pause the video here and I'll proceed with the next step. So, the next step when you're done carving your outline is going to be to take your spoon and to start scooping out chunks outside of the outline you've just drawn. This process can take a while depending on how complicated your picture is. So take your time. Just sprayed myself a little bit with my potato juice. Try not to get it in your eyes if you can help it. And I think every once in a while it can be useful to dab your potato again with your towel just to make sure that it's dry and you don't slip. This step can be a little hard, so if you need help, you can ask your grown-up if they're willing to do some scooping for you. But if you can do it on your own, that's great. If you have a bowl or something that you'd like to put your potato chunks in, that can be nice, but I don't have one, so I'm just gonna set mine aside so I can throw them away when I'm done. Doesn't need to be super carved out, but you wanna make sure that the picture you wanna turn into a stamp is raised enough above the rest of the potato that when you cover it with paint, you won't get any parts that you don't want painted covered with paint. So you want your picture to be raised a little bit above the rest of the potato. All right, So I finished carving mine. Again, I'm gonna dab it with my towel. And if you need more time, you can pause the video here and finish scooping, and then resume it when you're ready. But since I'm finished, I'm going to proceed with the next step. Fold my towel first. All right, so the next step is going to be for you to take your piece of paper and you're going to want to set it in front of you. And then you're going to take your paint and just put a little dot of paint onto your stamp. Put it right in the center of my heart. And then you're going to take your paintbrush and you're going to just spread the paint around so that it's even on your stamp. You don't want it too thick because then it will smear, but you want to make sure it's coated enough to really get your picture. Once you feel like you've properly covered your stamp with paint, you're going to want to keep it really even with the paper and press down. Hold it there for a moment and then lift it up. If there's any pieces of your stamp that aren't completely covered in paint, you can just fill those in with your paintbrush. And there you have your stamped picture. See, mine's a little pink heart, but I'm sure whatever you did is wonderful. So you can continue this process and keep stamping with the same picture. I'm gonna do another little pink heart. Or you could switch it up and add a new color. You could take the other half of your potato and make another stamp. Anything you want, really. Now that you're a master in this process, you can make as many as you want. I hope you had fun doing this art making activity and that you like your stamped picture. If you want more art making activities, there are more on mfa.org where you found this one. If you want to look at more artworks like the one we looked at today, you can go into mfa.org/collections, and in the collections search, look up linocut, and you should be able to find more of those artworks. Thank you so much again for watching. It was a blast to have you.